Alrighty guys, hi, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day today. As always, if you're new or returning, please be sure you're subscribed to the channel. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like the video, and if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them down in the comment section. I will do my best to see you there. So I did just film this eye look as a first impressions / tutorial of the Natasha Denona Trichrome palette. If you're interested in my thoughts or how I got this look, I will link the video in the cards if it's posted already. Otherwise, keep an eye out. It will be posted soon. This is going to be a first impressions video on the Fenty Beauty Powder Foundation and the Becca Under Eye Corrector, if that's what this is called. Yeah, Becca Under Eye Corrector. I already moisturized and primed my face with the Tatcha Silk Canvas Liquid in the eyeshadow video. Now I am going to do my products to test out these two items. So I am going to start off with using the Becca Under Eye Corrector. If I'm looking off to this direction, that is where my mirror is. Usually when I use concealer, I use this brush. I'm going to try and find a different synthetic brush that doesn't have concealer already on it. I found one. This one I used to use for concealer and I haven't since I washed it. So I'm going to use this one, which this is a Luxie Detailed Taper Blender. I got this in a BoxyCharm. So, not BoxyCharm, Ipsy. I never had BoxyCharm. I'm not sure how much product of this you're supposed to use, so I just dipped the brush in and I'm applying it with the brush. Ow, I don't know. I'm just gonna apply it underneath my eyes and try to blend it in a little bit with this brush, but I do have my damp sponge next to me to further blend it out, which is what I'm going to grab. I have two sponges next to me today. I have the Morphe sponge and I have the Beauty Blender. So I'm just going to tap over that and like spread it out a little bit. You guys will have to let me know if you see a difference. Since we're using a powder foundation, you have to, so I've seen you should be doing your cream products first, since the powder foundation is going to act like a setting powder, I guess, from the videos I have seen of people using powder foundations. The only powder foundation I have had is the pressed powder, the Maybelline Fit Me, which I pretty much used as a finishing powder because I didn't ever use it. So you guys will have to tell me if you see a difference. I do think it reflects the light. I do have a blemish today, so I am going to put a little bit of concealer over that. And I am just going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Vanilla. And I don't want to use a brush or anything since it is a blemish. I don't want to potentially spread that, and I don't focus a lot on any blemishes or discoloration on my face very often. It's usually temporary and they go away, so I usually just do as little as I can. So today I have both my Huda Beauty Tantour and my Fenty Beauty Cream. These are very different. I'm going to show you what I mean. So here we have the Huda Beauty Tantour, and here we have the Fenty Cream. This is in amber. I'm fairly fair toned if you can't tell. This is in light. So this is much more of an orangey shade, whereas this is very gray. This would be more for contouring, and this is more for bronzing for me, I would say. I don't know if I'm going to utilize both of them or just one of them. I think I'm going to try and use the Huda Beauty. You can tell by looking at the pans, I'm not extremely comfortable with cream products, but because this is a foundation, I'm hoping it has a little bit more coverage. That way if I apply a lot, it does cover it. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to apply the products, the cream products, with a brush and then blend them out with a sponge. So I've got to find my brush that is good for, this is a double-ended Tarte brush. So I am going to go in with the Huda Beauty Tantour and just pick up, hopefully not too much product on my brush. And then I am going to put this in the areas that I would bronze and not contour. Oh, this makes me super nervous. And it's hard for me to, I kind of contour and bronze with the powder in the same areas. I don't usually go in with different products, so I could be totally misleading you guys on where to place this. But this is where I am going to place the product, and then I'm going to blend it out with a sponge, and hopefully this doesn't end up in a disaster. And I am just trying to tell myself that it can be washed away if it ends up being totally terrible, and everybody does their makeup differently. Not to worry, it looks worse when you start than what it looks in the beginning, or at the end, I mean. I just kind of plopped it all over my face here, huh? So I'm just going to blend all this out to the best of my ability, which, to be honest, this is not, since I'm not used to cream products, this is a little bit difficult to blend. This is probably just the learning curve here. So I'm just going to continue to blend this in, and by blending it in, I am literally just pushing and swiping, which I know isn't the best technique for blending products in. This is why a lot of times I do not use beauty blenders for blending in my foundation, because I get impatient. So despite how it looked, I mean, you can definitely tell that this side of my face has like a blotch of product. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. And who knows, this may all be pointless. So here we have the Tantour blended out. I do think I'm gonna go in with some of the Huda just to cool down some of these spots, and I am just going to go in with my beauty blender, and I'm just going to tap the product where I would want the shadow to be, which, to be honest, I don't know if it's going to even do anything over this other stuff. I don't know if that's doing anything, so we're gonna I'm just gonna stop, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the foundation on now. I got this in shade 150, and what I, goodness, why won't this open? Just not feeling it. All right, so I got this in shade 150, and that is the shade I use in the liquid form. So I'm going to not use the brush that the sponge that it comes with. I have watched a couple of people use this, and they say it is best to use it if you want more coverage with a pretty densely packed brush. So I am going to use the IT Cosmetics Heart brush because it's densely packed. It is a foundation brush, and I haven't used this with any cream product since I washed it. And I am just going to, I don't know if you wipe on this or if you press, so I'm pressing, and then I am going to just press it onto my face. So I mean, it's definitely got coverage. And I can't remember if this is supposed to be a full coverage foundation or not. I made sure to prep my skin with quite a bit of hydrating products because I do tend to have dryness in my face, and with this being a powder, I know it has the ability to dry out my face. So I've never really worked with a powder foundation before in the sense of having it be my foundation and not like a finishing powder or anything like that. And I mean, there is coverage. You can see the coverage going on. I don't know if I like the way that this feels on my face, to be honest with you guys. But I am gonna finish putting it on. I find myself, because it's a powder and I don't know where I have gotten the product because it's hard to see. It's like almost undetectable. I don't know if I've covered my whole face, and I'm finding that I keep like tapping back in because I want my whole face to have foundation on it, which is something that I did see other people who have reviewed this or talked about this particular foundation have said. They also have said that using powder as a foundation on its own is a learning curve, and I can definitely understand that now that I'm using it to the test. So you guys will have to let me know how this is. I mean, I feel like I probably should have, I don't know if, it doesn't look like the stuff where I put the contour Fenty. You can very well see the gray on my face. So that is probably me for not blending that out all the way. But it's obviously not full coverage. So what I'm going to do, because I have a couple of other videos I need to film after this, is I'm going to try my best to save it. I am going to go in with what I typically do as far as powder products. So I am going to go into Fenty Beauty into Sun, and I'm just going to place this where I typically do whenever I bronze, which is where that gray line is. So hopefully this will, going over the foundation, will help not make that grayness be so apparent. I'm just gonna slightly touch my temples and then go over here and really try to blend over that with this shade, so maybe it's not as apparent. So And I don't have any cream blushes, so I am gonna go into this little compact I have from NARS, I think from last Christmas, maybe the one before. This has their Orgasm shade for their blush. I really enjoy this. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, which works for me because I typically keep the rest of my face pretty matte. So this brings some luminosity back to my face. I feel like the shimmer really complements the rest of the products that I typically put on and bring some life back. So I don't know if that was the best color to go with this purple look, but luckily I'm only filming videos today and I'm not planning on leaving the house. I'm also going to go ahead and touch into the highlighter that's in here, since this is very matte. Like, even for me, who typically goes for matte looks, like in person, my skin doesn't look totally dry, but it looks very flat. So I am just gonna try to combat that with some highlighter, even though I typically am not a huge highlighter wearer. So I am gonna just put on some of my Fresh the Sugar Caramel Potted Lip Balm. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on for some hydration. And that is the completed look. My first impression of the Fenty powder is it does have coverage. Like, clearly my redness is not really showing through very much. It did, in my opinion, like cover a good bit of the mess I did underneath with the Tantour. I feel like if you look at it at a certain angle where there's not as much coverage, it's kind of visible, but depending on, it could be the lighting, because in person, I'm not seeing that in my mirror. I'm not seeing all of the like blotchiness that is portraying on camera in real life. But on camera, this is not looking the best. Where I didn't put the Tantour, it does look good. Like here, I really am thoroughly impressed and enjoying how this looks on my under eye, because my under eyes are slightly discolored, but not enough to where I ever feel the need to use concealer. I've tried to do the concealer look and I don't like how that looks. It ends up looking cakey, whereas this doesn't even look like I've put any product under my eyes. For some reason, it's just showing some kind of a luminosity and reflecting the light and making my under eyes look very bright from what I'm seeing. You guys let me know what you're seeing. So this product is an absolute hit for me. I'm going to continue to use this product. I will continue to use this as well. I do enjoy it. I think I need to really learn how to work with cream products if I'm going to put them underneath my foundation, or I just need to stick with powder products. Maybe I will try to use this and only use powder products on top. It's got coverage, but it's not as full coverage as the liquid foundation. So I'm going to continue to play with this. There's a learning curve. And that's all I can say. Like, I enjoy it, and I think the more I learn how to use this, the more I will like it. But right now it's kind of like I'm going to use it, especially since I purchased it. But I can see where this can very easily just end up being something somebody buys and then doesn't ever pick up again unless they're using it in a different way than as a foundation, which to each their own. But this is the final look with those products. That is my first impression of those two products. I will have other videos coming out with more eye-related products as I have a ton. I will try to link the video where I go through all of the products I have purchased recently for 2020. If there's anything that you want to see that I haven't put out yet, let me know. I may have already filmed it and it may be in the works, or it may be something I need to film for you guys. So with all of that being said, I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.